Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the show that's on in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We've got a great show here today.
We got a very exciting event to talk about.
We've mentioned a few times on the show the Potato, Cabbage, and Bacon Festival.
Right.
Happening out there in Hastings. We've got our Hastings aficionado in studio, Jena Dennis. We're going to talk to her very shortly, as well as Hari Pulapaka,
All right,
who is joining us this afternoon. And he's got quite an accomplished career, man.
Absolutely. Very interesting career, too, of different paths, different channels, but it all comes back to
a sharp turn at one point.
Something really extraordinary. Yeah, I'm excited to jump into this.
So we will talk to them very, very soon. And, of course, we've got your horoscopes, your events, all that good stuff we usually do. And let's just jump right into it, shall we, sir?
Shall we, sir?
All right. We will do that with, I say let's jump right into it. And here I am looking for 15 seconds about which button to press. Bozard Ford Lincoln.
Okay.
76 years here in St. Augustine in Northeast Florida. They're here for you and your family at Bozard Ford Lincoln. You can experience their extensive selection of new and pre-owned vehicles, quick and quality servicing, and an amazing parts and accessory shop so you can really soup up that Ford you got out there.
They got Bozard Build now. You can customize your...
That's right.
Yeah, whatever you want.
It's a great new program.
Yeah.
They have services from home delivery to company fleet servicing out there at Bozard Ford Lincoln. Your family is their family, and they are driven to inspire. Speaking of your family, you want to be protected for yourself and your family.
True story.
Yeah, man. That's where the Bailey Group comes in. Why over 300 companies and organizations trust the Bailey Group to carefully craft a benefits program that supports and reflects their vision. No matter where you want to go, they want to help you get there together. Their first priority is helping you take care of yourself and your family. They want to learn more about your personal situation. They want to do things like identify your dreams and goals. They want to understand your risk tolerance. You're going to sit down with them. It's going to be a very easy conversation, and they're going to get it all figured out for you so they can build you the perfect package.
You don't want to overpay. That's the point. Yeah.
Right. That's the biggest thing. We're overpaying for everything in life these days.
Absolutely.
You're not going to overpay with the Bailey Group. No added cost, no extra fees, none of that stuff. They just want to make sure you are in good hands. And you are with the Bailey Group. 904-461-1800. Although that's not their official slogan because that's another company's slogan.
True, but it works for that read. Thank you.
Yes, it does. And a Lace Med Spa. Oh. Yeah. If you're looking for a relaxing and rejuvenating experience, look no further than Lace Med Spa. They specialize in providing their clients with a range of luxurious spa treatments and advanced medical aesthetic procedures. Things like hydrofacials, laser treatments, dermal fillers, Botox, body contouring. They do it all, and they do it the best. They are Alace. It is beauty on your terms. Check them out at alace.com.
Amazing people.
Great people.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Help you feel really good about yourself.
True. Get the confidence that you want, not the confidence that you deserve. Was that nasty? Was that rude?
I mean, it came off a little bit.
I know. It's like, just go with it. Just go with it. Yeah. See if that works. We'll put that in the mix. Yeah. See if it
I have
works.
a feeling Greg's going to say, nah, we'll skip that
Give
one.
me a note on that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's
Love
try
you
another
guys.
one, Davey. All right. Jen Dennis in studio along with Hari Pulapaka here this afternoon. How y'all doing?
Great. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. So, Jenna, what can people expect here? We're talking about the Potato, Cabbage, and Bacon Festival. This is right up my alley.
I know, right? It's right up everyone's alley. There's always something for everyone.
Yeah.
So we are super excited. It's April 27th and 28th. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday. It's a 2-day festival. And we literally have something for everyone.
Okay.
You know, we have vendors. There's going to be a lot of local agricultural product vendors. There's going to be arts and crafts. There's local artisans. So it's a good mix. And then we're also doing demonstrations throughout the day with Hari. He's going to be doing food demos and talking a little bit about local produce and farm to table and things like that. We have the lawnmower races partnered with Hastings Rotary.
Love it.
And we have a beauty pageant. We have live music. I mean, there's just all kinds of amazing stuff. And of course, don't forget, Taste of Hastings is going to be Saturday night.
So forgive me, this was a festival that happened years prior, correct?
Yes.
And you guys are just revitalizing it a little bit?
We are. We're super excited to help bring it back. It was something that was really important for the Hastings community for many years. And over time, you know, the folks that were hosting it just couldn't get enough support and couldn't pull it off. So it kind of went away for a few years. So we're helping to bring it back.
This is an exciting comeback story. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, really awesome.
Yeah.
So what about your farmers and your chefs?
Yeah.
Talk to me about who's all involved. It's
yeah, you know,
there's pairings here.
I'm going to let Hari talk a little bit.
Okay, yeah,
he is
please.
Our host chef, and we're thrilled and honored to have him because
this is amazing.
He's magnifique.
Say magnifique.
There you go.
I want to go on record to say that, first of all, you know, you said everything, we're paying too much for everything in life.
Yeah.
You're not overpaying for the cabbage potato bacon fest. I can assure you of that.
I love
so
it.
already we're off to a much higher standard than the rest of the world.
There you go.
We need for the people.
Can you just stay here and be our positivity coach?
I like this.
Sure, I'm here.
Sometimes.
A little coffee goes a long way.
God bless. Yeah.
No, it's an
There you
honor for
go.
me to be part of this festival. And when I was approached by Main Street Hastings, and I'm like, wow, really, me? So I've been a chef for 20 years. I've been a mathematics professor for almost 40. That's a different story of my life. But coming back to the festival, you know, it's really uplifting and kind of inspiring to see so many local chefs and farmers saying, yeah, count me in, and how do I get involved?
Yeah.
And so it didn't take long for me to collect, if you will, these fantastic folks from this community who really bring food to your table day in and day out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people always wonder, like, okay, that tomato tastes like crap. Why is that? Because it didn't come from nearby and it sat around in a ripening room a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the case here. You have fantastic chefs who are going to use local in-seasonal produce to make delicious food for you. So, I mean, if food doesn't make you happy and bring you to the table repeatedly for positivity, I don't know what will.
And we love to cook around here, so it does not surprise me.
Oh my
that
gosh!
you found people
Then you have
quickly.
no excuse, and you have all the inspiration and the incentive to come for the Cabbage Potato Bacon Festival.
So
it.
when Hastings Main Street came to you with this idea, it seems like a no-brainer because I'm looking at your enthusiasm behind
It's
this.
good because I don't have much of a brain.
Okay, well, you have to. My goodness. Oh, my goodness. With everything that you accomplished. Mathematics, I don't even use that side of the brain. So I'm serious, though.
So
But
it's
like,
usually on the top.
what about Hastings? What about the produce of Hastings that said, yes, I want to take this on? As an esteemed chef of yourself, like, why this event?
Yeah, Hastings has a long, storied, over a century history of providing fantastic produce of a very special kind. You know, potatoes are well-known, cabbage. But then there are all these other smaller farmers who've been doing fantastic things over the years, you know, microgreens and fresh fruit and herbs and squashes and things like that, and tomatoes, of course. So when you think of Hastings, if you're from the area, you already know. A lot of St. Augustine restaurants, whether they realize it or not, are using product from just around here.
Yep.
And those who are celebrating and recognize that, kudos to them. Those who don't, maybe this is an opportunity for them to realize that, hey, some of this bounty is coming from your backyard and has been for over a century. So this connectivity, this connection of what's growing in your area to people who do this sort of maybe mindlessly sometimes is really, really important because it's going to amplify the stories of what's happening in the area, what has been happening in this area for a long time.
I love that.
So we kind of glossed over something here.
Uh-oh.
You mentioned you've been a professor for 40 years, a chef for 22. How do you go from professor of mathematics to being such an accomplished chef? I mean, how does that turn happen?
Well, I said this before the show began, but I went through a professional midlife crisis at the age of 38.
Too many parabolas.
Too many parabolas. Oh, I love that. Too many parabolas, not as many hyperbolas.
I like it. Yes.
What language are we speaking right now? I'm lost. That's why I'm lost. I took math 1 all 4 years of high school.
It's a little M-rated language. So at age 38, I received tenure at Stetson University in DeLand, Florida, and I said to myself, you know, you got to be able to do more than one thing in life. I had no intention of giving up teaching. My mom was a teacher. I'm continuing her legacy of teaching. But I was interested in doing something else as well. Maybe I had a lot of time on my hands as teachers. That's, you know, we're guilty as charged, you know. And so I just found this infomercial on TV one afternoon, and it spoke to me. It was about culinary school. And here I am 20 years later. I mean, I've glossed over a lot of stuff, but I put myself through culinary school, went full-time in the evening, taught full-time during the day, did chef gigs in Alaska and Toronto and gained some high quality experience, did private chef gigs for a couple of years. And then finally an opportunity came up in Deland to open a restaurant, and with no restaurant experience at all, at the age of 41, I said, let's go in. And Jennifer and I, my wife, we went all in, and we put a solid 12 years into it. And then finally, prior to the pandemic, we kind of said, if we want to keep doing this, we have to let this beast go. And because we didn't want to give it up, we wanted to keep doing this, but there's only so much energy when you're in your 50s, and so we let it go, and it's doing well. It's still alive and well. Our what we gave birth to is growing and is doing well. But no, I'm still a chef, an active chef, and grateful to be involved in fantastic events like this one. Because once a cook, always a cook, I think.
Right. It's just like gets in your soul.
It does.
So what was something you learned getting into the restaurant world that you did not expect? A lot of people who are great chefs, they open a restaurant and very quickly they think, oh, this is way more than I bargained for. It's not just being in the kitchen and cooking.
Yeah, you may bring up a really important point, because how often does somebody tell you, do you cook, by the way?
Oh no, I'm the worst cook you will ever meet.
And I love it. It's my science. It's where I relax. It's my meditation.
Has anyone in your life told you should open a restaurant?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what happens a lot.
Right.
When people cook well, somebody around there in their circle says you should open a restaurant. So that happens a lot. So I'm glad you asked that question. I, of course, got trained professionally, and I was very much older in life. But what I learned, if I can just maybe encapsulate very quickly, was more about myself than the business itself. I learned that I have the resilience, and I learned that all that stuff that my parents kind of inscribed in me as a young person, which I thought was horrible, and I thought they hated me because of what they did, all came to fruition. So I have a lot of resilience. And so what I'm trying to point out is that we all have those resilient kind of aspects of what we do, and maybe sometimes you just need the right spark. So for me, it was the restaurant business. I was in cruise control as teaching. I dug deep to finish my degrees and all that kind of stuff, but I don't want to say it like this. My employers are going to be like, really? I can teach in my sleep. I'm always prepared. I don't miss a beat. I'm on top of everything. It's like second nature to me.
Oh, but you're superhuman. This is amazing.
No. But in the restaurant business, every minute is different.
Yes.
It's so dynamic. It's so fluid. And no one can really prepare you for that. Certainly culinary schools can't prepare you for that. And so maybe that's the other aspect of what I learned. What I learned that is we can be that way if you have a fear of failure like I do. Especially because I borrowed a ton of money that I didn't have of my own. And so that sense of responsibility to make sure you're doing good with that, and you're doing good with the opportunity that food can bring.
Yeah, you don't want a Dateline special like that. Yeah, right. Yeah, you want to make sure.
That's right. So no, it's just been, in Jenna's words, a blessing, and I'm grateful every day. So I learned that I'm very resilient, and I'm still resilient. And I also learned that you have to be focused every single moment, not just day. A day is too long a time. Every single moment, you have to be on it. But the good news is food allows you to do that, because food is essentially a happy medium.
Yeah.
So it's not torturous or tortuous, but it is demanding. And so for those folks who just do good cooking in a casual, relaxed environment are not good candidates for opening restaurants.
Okay.
You have to kind of be all in all the time, and then continue to do what you do, which is that passion project of cooking. So
sounds like a balance of both worlds.
you do need that. You need a balance of both worlds. You'll have to learn to say no sometimes, because you get asked a lot when you have food in your back pocket.
Yeah.
And so you have to say no, because it's for your own health, and it's for the health of what you love to do.
It's so true. It's very rare to find someone that's both an excellent chef and an excellent business owner, because it's two very different things. Chefs have that creative side, whereas to run a business, you have to have a very analytical mindset. So
it's like artist and gallery too.
Absolutely.
Same thing, kind of yin and yang there. Yeah. You keep talking about the spark, and I really would love to hear about your inspiration. Like, were there other chefs that inspired you? Were like, yeah, I can do what that guy did, but I can do it better, or something that started you in this business?
I would say yes, and ultimately, I should point out that I cooked a lot as a young kid, and it's the culture I came from in India, and I was going to the market at a very early age. I was standing in the milk line at 5 o'clock in the morning as a 10-year-old, waiting for the milk truck to pull up. So I've been around food my whole life, not realizing that that's something I would do professionally later on in life. But in terms of professional inspiration, I did my externship, which was a requirement from culinary school in Toronto, at a really well-known, it's still well-known, one of the top restaurants in Canada, Canoe, and at the top of the Dominion Tower in downtown Toronto. So it's a really hallowed restaurant. And I got lucky that I got an externship there. So over there, some of the whippersnapper chefs were like, "Who's this old guy trying to learn how to cook professionally?"
Yeah.
But there was this one chef, a sous chef, the evening sous chef. His name is Scott Woods, who actually respected the fact that I was putting myself through this project and this kind of exercise of working for free for 4 months, basically.
Right.
And taking notes meticulously in my little note binder for 8 hours a day. So he observed that, and he kind of lifted me. He kind of gave me the kudos, the pat on the back every now and then. Not enough, not where I thought it was all that.
Right.
But after 4 months, I went to him and I said, "The chef, thank you for the opportunity. It's time for me to go back to the land. What do you think?" I
He's
just
like, where?
Yeah, where? You said that, right? Where?
Right.
I thought you were from Ontario. You look like all the other Indians who live here.
I thought you said the land. You said the land. Okay, yeah.
So I had only one question for him because that's what I need. I needed that closure and that kind of validation. And I asked him, "Chef, I got one question for you. It's the final conversation we're having. If I was to apply for a job at Canoe, knowing what you've seen, would I get a job? Would I get even like a prep cook job?" He said, "Yeah, I'd hire you." That's all I needed to know. I was 40 plus years old with no restaurant experience, and I put myself through all this, 2 years and huge debt and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, if Canoe will give a chance to me, I can do this.
Yeah.
And
So-
that's the spark I got from a professional chef.
So why come back to DeLand? Why didn't you go from there and kind of seek that big city,
Great question.
Big chef, big time lifestyle?
That's an interesting question, and I've thought about that sometimes. Not enough where it sort of gives me pause and questions my decision making in the past. But DeLand was where I started my full-time academic career in some way. I had lots of positions before that, but I settled finally in DeLand.
That's what everybody is. They settled.
Yeah,
for
I
DeLand.
settled in DeLand, and it got very comfortable. I'm from a really large city in India, from Mumbai, and so I'm a city boy by any measure. Like I've lived. That's what's my comfort zone is. Like New York, people say are busy. It's not that busy to me. Like Bombay is busy.
Yeah,
Bombay is busy.
Yeah, and Tokyo is busy, and those places are crazy. But no, the question was, your question is valid, but for me, it was a matter of, maybe, okay, I'll be honest here. Maybe it was fun and it's been enjoyable being a somewhat bigger fish in a smaller tank versus being, another guppy in a big, large
It's a
tank.
number.
Right? So that validation and that support that I received in our little community has kept me going and has lifted me often. And it's not clear that one always has that just because you go to a bigger city. You may get more opportunities. That doesn't necessarily mean you have a higher quality of happiness or kind of appreciation for what you do. Who knows? There's all variables. And so I've never considered leaving for the sake of celebrity or for the sake of more opportunities. But it has limited what I've been able to do. There's no question about that. When I get asked to do things on a larger scale, my day job and the fact that I'm connected to my smaller community, kind of sometimes I have to say no to a lot of things. So, but I have no regrets anymore.
Produce. You wouldn't have got that anywhere else.
There we
than
go.
Hastings, so there it is.
That's it.
Yeah.
So it's I may move to Hastings someday. Who knows?
Oh, let's do it. I know an agent.
There you go. So what were some of your favorite dishes to make? What are some of the ones that really stand out to you?
Growing up or just as a cook, as a chef?
Give me both.
Both,
Yeah,
okay.
what did you really like
So-
before you were trained and then maybe after?
Macaroni and cheese, hot dog.
Not far from that. Of course, simple Indian food speaks to me. And when you say simple, I don't mean a curry. We don't really make curries at home. Rice, yogurt, Indian pickle. If you know Indian food, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So moving forward to that, you said macaroni and cheese. Simple Italian food is my comfort food.
Me too.
Simple. I mean simple. I don't need a lasagna that's been cooking for 2 hours. You just give me simple pasta with some fresh herbs and some garlic and olive oil, and I'm the happiest person on the planet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when I'm tired and I want to make something for myself, that's usually what I make for myself. Professionally, I'm somewhat of an aficionado and kind of a snob when it comes to seafood.
Okay,
So I'm in the right part of the world for that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm kind of known for my seafood cookery. And so I think some of my best dishes have been my really, really, really focused and flavorful seafood dishes. Of course, I can make the really spicy and kind of spice-driven, full flavored dishes. I wrote a couple of books based on spices, even, and I can make really bold cuisine, and I do most of the time. But what people take, they expect me to do that, right? You look at me, they expect me to make that food, and I do. But I think what I'm most successful and most satisfied is when I take really fresh local seafood, and that's thoughtfully sourced, and it's in season, and I do justice to it on a plate.
But seafood can be also very demographic too, right? Because, like crabs in like the Louisiana area, the blue crabs are going to be something very different. How do you compensate with that?
And thank you. Good question, because you have to work with the ingredient. You have to let the ingredient kind of guide you sometimes. And that's important as a good cook. Because, by the way, the difference between a cook and a chef. A cook is what we do. We cook. I cook. I'm a cook first. Chefs get to pay bills.
Okay, there you
They
go.
get to manage people.
There you go.
That's not as much fun as being a cook. So as a good cook, I have to let the ingredients speak to what I do. And, here we are in the Cabbage, Potato, Bacon Festival. Cabbage and potato are going to speak to me when I see it. It's not inconceivable that I might jump into the fire, as it were, and make something during the festival, even though I'm not on the schedule. You never know how that's going to go. I may do a spontaneous kind of thing because I can't help myself because you got great produce.
People who love to cook love to cook.
You can't,
anytime,
exactly.
anywhere.
You can't tie me down for too long when there are ingredients involved, especially good ones.
Yeah.
So you let the ingredients speak to you, and then there's some technical knowledge you have to have. You cook things the way that they're prescribed to be cooked. Protein is protein, starches are starches, fats are fats. And so the food chemistry plays a role there, and that's where you don't necessarily have to have a professional training, but you do have to have some working knowledge. So anybody can write a poem. You don't have to go to have a degree in English literature to write a poem, right? The same thing is true with food. You can make good food without being professionally trained, as long as you kind of allow your body your mind to react in the way that makes sense, whatever that means. And the notion of making sense is different you bring up Louisiana crab versus snow crab in Alaska. They're different objects. And so you let the ingredients speak to you in the way that makes sense culinarily speaking, but it's also very important to make sure that you're invested in what you're doing. So if you have a style and you have a flavor, if it doesn't taste good to you first, you're taking a huge chance hoping that others are going to like it. And I say this to anyone who asks me my 2 cents. It has to taste good for you first. If you don't like it, don't serve it to somebody else.
Yeah,
I say that to my cooks all the time and other people who talk to me. And that's how I cook. My style of cooking is I cook food that I like to eat, that I would eat and enjoy, and then I hope that others will enjoy as well.
I got one word for you, and I want to see your facial expression. Tilapia.
Nice. There it is.
Did you get a screenshot?
Definitely got that. I got the fire and the passion of those eyes. Like, don't you dare put that in front of me.
However,
Okay.
speaking of sustainability, aquaponics is huge.
Yeah.
Our chance of getting wild seafood is getting less and less with each passing day. There's only so much wild species of seafood left in the world, and it's a smaller and smaller number every year. So for those of us who like to cook and eat seafood, you have to be okay with farm-grown seafood. Aquaponics, where you have circulatory systems that are complete ecosystems where you have, tilapia and catfish in ponds whose refuse becomes fodder for the vegetables and the herbs that are growing in that aquaponic setting. That's the future, whether we like it or not. So the tilapia, just to give them some prop, are helping our food systems become more resilient, so that we would have enough good, tasty food for future generations.
That's incredible.
That's actually a true statement.
Look to tilapia. Very nice.
And not only that, but I mean, we have a local farm, Angela Tenbrook.
I was about to say
she's
that.
amazing. I've visited that property, and watching how clean it is, how well run it is, it's different than what you imagine at some of these commercial places where they're pushing hundreds of thousands of fish through, and it's dirty, and it's, they put chemicals in to treat parasites. Like there's different types of farmed seafood. So it's important, again, to know where your food is coming from.
Yeah, like I know the debate between wild salmon versus farm-raised salmon, and the gap is actually closing, like you said, more and more.
Absolutely, and that's necessitated by our demand for more sustainable and more sort of resilient food systems, right? If we didn't care, then I bet you the people at the top wouldn't care either. But we care, and it's important that each of one of us cares in the way we do, so that the demand gets set in the marketplace for what needs to be done as opposed to what is done sometimes.
Absolutely.
So what are you most looking forward to about the upcoming festival?
I'm most looking forward to seeing this community shine.
Awesome.
And being a small part of that shining. So that's the most important thing for me. I can't be happier that this festival is coming back, and I can't be happier that I'm involved in such a small way. But I'm looking forward to seeing my chef friends. I'm looking forward to meeting the farmers who I've not met before, but I've spoken with. And I'm looking forward to seeing Main Street Hastings shine in what will eventually be a long-term project. I mean, hopefully this will, and I'm hoping, and I'm almost sure, and I'm sure now that this will be the best one yet by far. But it's only the beginning of what's to come.
I love that.
Very exciting. Jenna, what about you? What are you looking forward to most?
Oh my goodness, all of it. There's so many great things that are going to happen. And again, like for me, walking up and down the street in the middle of these festivals, watching people's smiles and talking to people, like I get more hugs during these festivals than I get all year. It's amazing. People are so excited. They're on fire, you know. Everyone is so positive. They're just excited. It's that pride of ownership. It's coming back to the community. So it's neat to be a part of that.
I think so too. I think the story that you're revitalizing this whole narrative is exciting. Even the people that live in Hastings are excited about it too. You see a great energy surge.
Yeah, and it's very much a community effort. You know, it's not just me, it's not just Alan, it's all of us. We were coming together and we're working together, and that's what makes a community work. So
it's making magic out there. Where do people find more about Hastings Main Street and the great things you guys are doing out there?
Yeah, so hastingsfl.org is our website.
Okay.
There's still tickets available. If you have interest, make sure you go there. We have 3 different types of tickets. The Saturday evening event, you can get a general admission ticket. Those are $35. Or you can do a VIP ticket. The VIP ticket gets you in early. You get in at 6 instead of 6:30.
Okay.
And there's extra tastings. There's a special VIP tasting. There's also a wine tasting.
Oh, wow.
And then you get a swag bag with local products from all the local businesses. We have coffee, we have hot sauce, we have, all kinds of stuff, local cookies from all the local businesses in the community in this swag bag. So that's going to be fun. And those are $100. All of the money goes right back into the nonprofit to support the community. And then Sunday, we have the cooking competition, which is a lot of fun. And those tickets, I believe, are $25. So there's so much fun stuff. So you can get all of that online at the website.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for coming in. This was fun today.
Great
chat.
Always fun to have you in studio. And looking forward to this.
Really looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great time.
Yes. Thank you so much. This was
Thank
very
you,
special.
guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
Man, this is going to be great.
This
is going to be
sounds
great,
tasty,
man.
right?
Just,
Boy, what a story, right?
Oh, dude.
From math to food, and it makes sense now.
It almost doesn't seem like there's a parallel there, but that's really cool.
That's why you got to get into parabolas.
Okay,
right.
There we go. It's a very mathy show today. All right, man. Hey, if you want to have fun in downtown St. Augustine, one of the best ways to do that is to hop on an Old Town trolley. Not only will they take you around to the 22 stops, the 100 points of interest, but you can also get off along the way and just check out a little gift shop or check out a restaurant or
Very good.
grab some wine down at Bin 39. It's just a great time. You're really going to enjoy it. And if you are part of the Hometown Pass program, of course, you're going to ride free with a full fare adult paid guest. Which free is a great deal.
It's a great deal. That's the price we like.
It's the price I like the most. Hometownpass.com if you want to sign up for that. Old Town Trolley, they're the green trains, and we love them, and you will too.
And for over 45 years, Steve Chapman's All-American Air has been serving St. Augustine and St. Johns County, as well as the other surrounding communities. They take great pride in providing quality service of installations, in turn gaining a customer for life. All-American Air can match any price, but no one can match their quality and their service. Our friends at Steve Chapman's All-American Air will take exceptional care of your home unit. Think about it. When was the last time you had your home unit serviced? Well, now is the time to get on one of those maintenance plans. Give them a call, 904-461-0070.
And I mentioned Bin 39, and I'm going to mention them again.
Let's go.
Because they're pretty freaking awesome. Bin 39 out there on the Orange Street side of St. George Street, tucked away in that little... Why did I just almost use the word alcove? That's not an alcove.
Like a courtyard,
is it an alcove?
Yeah, it's nice. Tucked away.
Why do I think alcove is like a waterfall? I don't know where my brain's going.
Could be the corner in the attic as well. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Oh, boy. They're open 8 to 8 daily. They got live music out there on the patio all the time, and you can enjoy a great glass of wine and probably find your new favorite if you haven't already out there at Bin 39 Wine Bar. All right, it's horoscope time.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
Sharp turn. We've got Cancer, Leo, and Virgo on deck. Leo's love today.
Yeah.
Let's do it, Clay. Cancer. If you thought your mood swings were bad, today you're going on a bungee jump. Oh, I emphasized the wrong word. Let me do that again.
Okay.
If you thought your mood swings were bad,
There it is.
today they're going on a bungee jump.
There it is.
Strap in and maybe warn those around you to wear their helmets.
Oh, smart idea.
Yeah. Leo.
Yeah, it depends.
And depends.
Yeah, there we
Good
go.
call.
Callback. Massive callback from hours and hours ago.
Wonderful job, Clay.
Leo, your roar might turn into a meow as your pride gets challenged today. Find a quiet corner to groom your wounds and perhaps plot your regal comeback.
Yikes.
So there's a comeback story. That's actually good.
All right. Okay.
Virgo, today your critical eye sharpness. Today your critical eye sharpens
Okay.
to laser precision. Not my eyes. They're not doing great today.
I think a lace has a laser.
Okay, cool. Need to check in on that. Try not to zap everyone with it. Remember, you can't spell analyzed without anal. Oh, that's what the stars
that's
say.
true. That's what the stars say.
It
It's
is.
a natural word.
We're getting dinged for that one.
Well, not really. Not this far in.
All right. Good call.
Hey, I'll tell you what's really far in is this Thursday is the spring market happening at the Leitner Museum.
Okay.
Yes. Shop a selection of 35 local artisans around the historic Alcazar swimming pool and in the Brzezinski Garden. Enjoy live music by Raisin Cake Orchestra and so much more at this lively spring affair.
Okay.
This is a free community event, but however, the Leitner Museum members get a shopping experience a little bit earlier at 5 p.m., but general admission starts at 5:30 p.m., so they'll get first dibs, just letting you know. Again, the Leitner Museum, April 18th, 5 to 8:30 p.m.
Okay.
Oh, this is going to be big this year. St. Augustine History Festival. We just keep announcing new things.
Okay.
The influence of Menorcan culture at the St. Augustine Lighthouse and Maritime Museum is also a part of the St. Augustine History Festival.
Of course.
This is happening Saturday, May 11th. Mike Usina will demonstrate Menorcan net making. He's very, very famous for this. It's very cool. If you ever see those giant nets, he's going to teach you how to put it together. It's pretty cool. And there's also famous Florida recipes by Marcela Viega. She will sell her books, sign them, and chat about Menorcan recipes in the cookbook. Okay. The education manager will have crafts for families to participate or to practice natural fiber weaving as well. Very cool. Jay Smith, we like him so much. Jay provides a lecture on Menorcan keepers of the St. Augustine Lighthouse. Very, very cool. So check this out. Obviously, this is all on St. Augustine Lighthouse and Maritime Museum, as well as the St. Augustine History Festival. May is big for history. Very excited.
Yeah, and Menorcan's a big part of St. Augustine history.
Right. Hey, let me tell you something that's really a part of St. Augustine.
What's that?
It's been history. There's a really cool sci-fi show that a lot of people are watching called Three Body Problem right now.
Okay.
It's from the creator of Game of Thrones. Well, I'm telling you right now, the Three Body Problem is also, there's a lot of footage that was used on parts of Volano Beach.
Really?
Yeah, the Magic Beach Hotel to be exact.
Oh.
So if anybody has seen the show, it's on Netflix. It's super cool. Again, it's called Three Body Problem. I got to check it out. I have not seen it, but I just got this memo this morning, so I was like, I got to announce this. But yeah, the Magic Beach Hotel, that really cool motel that's right by the beach.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It used to be a regular motel,
Yeah.
and then the CW, I think they might have still been the WB at that point,
Okay.
bought the property and turned it into a set for a TV show that only had like 2 episodes and then failed.
No way.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so the production company, they moved in, they bought the property, they did it all up to be this Magic Beach Hotel. Their show sucked, and then they just left town and left the hotel as it is.
Oh, that's our benefit. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a fun flapjack fundraiser I don't know where pancakes went to flapjacks. I was curious
Right?
about that.
That feels like a Canadian thing.
Something weird here. Yeah. Anyway, this is happening Saturday on April 20th. This weekend, 420.
Okay.
So 8 to 9:30 p.m. So all you wake and bakers, go to Applebee's, 225 State Road 312. Door prizes, grand prize $40, or 40-inch Vizio TV. Excuse me. This is all benefiting Big Brothers Big Sisters. Probably show up nice and sober. That'd be kind of nice for everybody. Probably a better idea. Probably a better idea. Team Green, sit this one out. Yeah.
All right.
Ay. Messy.
Good stuff, man. Thank you. Hey, also coming up, a week from the Flapjack fundraiser.
Oh!
This is the Love Your Mother Eco Fashion Show out there, presented by Panache. We love Panache. You know, Panache not only puts this on and raises money for the Matanzas Riverkeeper, but they're doing something every day in their shop to be eco-friendly as well. They've taken on a lot of initiatives over the past few years to help protect the environment.
Yes.
There's a lot that goes on with all the treatments that you get at spas like Panache, and not all of them care about what they're doing to the environment after you leave the place, but Panache does, so it's pretty cool.
It is awesome.
Yeah, go to getpanache.com, see more about what they do on the daily, and get your tickets for the Love Your Mother Eco Fashion Show. It's going to be a good time.
And get involved with the St. Johns County United Way. They're a catalyst for change and a champion for our community. They cover health, financial stability, and education, and together they're building a stronger, more resilient community for all. But they can't do it alone. They need you, boo. They need your generosity. They need your passion. Together they create a brighter future for every individual in St. John's. We love you guys over there. UnitedWay-SJC.org.
Good stuff, man. What do we got today?
All right, old person things that are starting to make sense as we age.
All of them. Okay.
Yes. So the first question is, what's the one old person thing that you do? And so the answer is make loud noises when I get up or sit down.
Yep. Yeah.
Next one, turn the music down so I can see.
Yeah. Every time I go to the drive-thru.
I do this all the time.
I don't know why we do this. Why do our brains do this?
I don't know either. Next up, I tell servers to compliment the chef. But not at Denny's. Like, they don't care.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, geez. They almost never get those compliments, by the way. The server, as soon as they leave your table, they don't care about your compliment to the chef.
Right. Just make sure it's 20%.
Yeah. But I will say, chefs do enjoy getting compliments.
They do.
It does mean a lot when a chef gets
That's why the kids' menu is important. You color them a picture. Right.
That's not the way to do it.
Okay. Next up, why am I old? Because I call the children and dogs the wrong names.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
For years, I thought my name was David. Damn it. I didn't realize. Next up, starting to say, well, back in my day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We say that too often on the shows.
Right. Next up, watch Judge Judy and eat soup every day.
All right.
I love some soup. Next up, old people were right. Sitting on the porch ain't so bad.
Yeah. Okay.
It's very relaxing.
All right.
Next up, wonder why those kids aren't in school when I see them in the store with their parents during the middle of the day. I think about this. I'm like, why aren't they in school? Yeah.
Well, maybe they're homeschooled.
Maybe, Amanda.
See?
Good shout. Next up, say, what is this world turning to whenever I turn on the news? Yeah. And the last one is asking my kid to hand me the remote, knowing good and well I can get up and get it myself. Shout out my mother. Yes. Yeah. She had kids for assistance. That's all.
Oh, boy. Hey, we hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for helping with a great show. And, we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Bye, everybody.